Yeah, I think with this Niner situation trading up to 3, I don't know if Fields has really been brought up. I think fans that maybe want Fields or think he's QB3 after Lawrence or Wilson have brought him up, but it's pretty much Lance and Mac Jones. It was Lance at first, now it's Mac Jones. Some out there still say Lance, and they're going off pure fit. And I got two problems with this.
What's your problems, man?
I got two problems here. Um, Number one is, I mean, I've said this in the past too. I think a big problem with drafting, specifically drafting quarterbacks, is teams are picking the system. They're picking the system quarterback. They're not picking the player. They're picking the system. Like Patrick Mahomes is the system. Tom Brady was and is. I mean, he shows up in Tampa Bay. They win a Super Bowl year one. They're not getting a guy that fits their system, passing on the best guys just to go for the guy that fits the system. But it makes no sense. That's how you pass on these Patrick Mahomes, these best players. And I've said this for a long time. And people disagree with me on whenever I say that on YouTube. They think they have to. Why would you pick a guy that doesn't fit? But maybe that's a problem with coaching. There's these coaches that only run. They're so strict on what they run. Maybe that's a problem. A guy like Andy Reid is able to mix it up throughout his whole career. Gets Patrick Mahomes, and they kind of adjust to what Patrick Mahomes does. That makes sense, They trade up for that guy for that reason because he's special. If the 49ers take Mac Jones, and this is going to sound like I'm one of those, because there's a good group of people that are anti-Mac Jones, like shouldn't go. There's people that think he shouldn't go early first, and you got those group of people that think he shouldn't go mid first, and there's a group of people that think he shouldn't go first at all. I'm not one of those people. I think he's pretty talented, but there are 4 better quarterbacks in this class. So if they take Mac Jones, if they trade all that away to take Mac Jones at 3, I think it's going to look pretty bad, and you're going to look back at history and see when teams chose the system, the prototype, I should say. The system and the prototype, the type of quarterback over the best quarterback, it's pretty much always failed. I can't tell you a time where it's worked out, So I think that would be a mistake, even though I think Mac Jones can be good. I think he could be good on the 49ers. I think he could be solid. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. I didn't really grade it, but in a way I kind of just graded it, not liking it. I don't think it's going to be, I wouldn't be grading the player in that scenario. I'd be grading the pick, if that makes sense. I think there are better options. I think they're basically putting Shanahan at quarterback. They're choosing Shanahan over the best style player. So I have a problem with that. I've always had a problem with that. Even if it's a good quarterback like Mac Jones, you're passing on a guy that's just better. And I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm not sure if I'm starting to think they're not going to do that. And that kind of brings into my second problem. Everyone's saying that everyone right away, Trey Lance is the phenomenal fit. They got to be going him. And then the other one was Mac Jones is a good fit because he's kind of that prototype. He's that same style quarterback as Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, etc. I got a problem with that. I think one person said each of those things and everyone kind of jumped on. Sure, they are fits, but why the hell is Justin Fields not a fit? Like, who decided that those guys are more of a fit than Justin Fields? I think that's bullshit, to be honest. I think Justin Fields could. He can run that offense and better. I mean, he's proven he can run that offense. With there's a lot of play action. There's a lot, bootleg. I think, if you're going to go with that Shanahan bootleg, you got to have a quarterback that can run those bootlegs. I think Fields is better than Mac Jones, in my opinion. Mac Jones had success in every type of pass, I suppose, but his big-time plays came from a lot of RPO, which he was damn good at it, but Shanahan's not running any of that. And, yes, Mac Jones can run play action. Trey Lance is kind of known as a play action guy, but, when you get the quarterback on the rollout, you want him to throw first, or Shanahan wants that guy to throw first. Trey Lance, I do think he's a pass-first quarterback in general, but he could be, he's never been a running quarterback guy, Shanahan, that is. Does he want the guy that's going to go out there and possibly look to run first? It's kind of up in the air. Fields, even though he's a 4-4 guy, he is 100% a pass-first guy. He's going to get out there, and he's going to want to throw the ball downfield. And I think he goes through that play so quick. The footwork's so quick. He gets outside the pocket that quick and makes that play. For some reason, those the big draft guys, the so-called experts, they're feeding us that Lance and Mac Jones are the best fits, and they are really good. They're good fit. All these guys are good fits, but they're making it seem like Fields is not a fit, and that is false. I could argue Fields is more of a fit than those guys. So those are my big two problems. So basically, I think they should pick Fields third overall because he's my third best quarterback in the class, and I think he's a phenomenal fit. You trade all that. And on top of that, I mean, look at the quarterbacks that have recently succeeded. They're all freaks in a way. The guys that weren't freaky in terms of the arm strength and the athleticism, they haven't really worked out. The guys that are just absolutely just, obvious crazy talents, like a Justin Fields, they've had success. So that's just another small reason there to add in there. But